Welcome to another edition of Tailgate Talk, Nebraska. We'd like to welcome you all in here on this beautiful fall Wednesday evening. It's a beautiful day out today with a little bit of rain. With us, as always, the biggest Giants fan on the planet, and he has the face paint on tonight to show it. That is Jackson Gettleman.
He's not big. He's not big enough.
Brian Denton with us from Beaton Satellite. And Brian, you're not in Colorado tonight. Congratulations. You're in Arizona.
Yep, I'm in Phoenix.
Phoenix, Arizona. I bet they're really liking that as Cardinals fans down there. With us again, back from his honeymoon, Braden Long Cook.
Thanks, Dad.
With us. You are welcome, son. Jeff Green, our gracious host, with us as always. I'm Derek. We will be with you here for the next hour or so. And we're going to break a lot of things down. And guys, we have a lot to talk about after this last week. We're going to start in college football. And let's go to the biggest thing first, guys. Penn State defeated by Northwestern last week, 22-21. Their season is just on I'm not even going to call it downhill slide. I'm talking a mountainside slide. James Franklin, done in Happy Valley. And now let all the rumors start flying about who is the next head coach of Penn State. And do you think Franklin will find a way back into college football? I think James Franklin will find a way back into college football. I think he's a good coach. I think just some things led to it. And, after the Oregon loss, the big slide went. Who do you guys think is next in line in Happy Valley?
I wouldn't be surprised if Matt Rule's the one of the number one guys. But I've also
your face is painted blue. Because you're still there top again.
wait. I know that he said that he loves it in Nebraska, but they all say that when they get ready to leave somewhere. But I've also heard Urban Meyer in the talks. So
Urban Meyer's been in the talks. Nick Saban, I've heard his name thrown around a little bit. Kurt Signotti from Indiana has been thrown around a little bit. I mean, look what that guy's done. We'll get to that in a little bit, and Brian should have painted one half of his face red and the other blue. But bad week for you, buddy. Sorry to hear that.
Yeah.
Signotti, the thing about Signotti, though, he is 64 years old.
Yeah.
He's been in Indiana for not even 2 years now.
Mm-mm.
And has turned that program, like an hourglass, man. He's flipped that thing back over on its side. He has got that going. Signotti, I've heard Matt Campbell from Iowa State is another one.
His name always pops up. That guy's not going nowhere.
I don't know if you would want him at a school like Penn State. Yeah, he's done okay at Iowa State, but
his name popped around for our job when we hired Rule.
Yeah. But Iowa State got beat by Colorado. But
that's gotta hurt.
Braden, what's your thoughts?
I think there's a list they're obviously going to go down number one, number two, like any other job. I think Kirk Signetti is their top of their list, but the thing is, does he want to go? Why would you leave Indiana when you're third ranked in the country when you took over a program that was nothing?
Yeah.
So I could see him. I've seen, like Brian said, I've seen some Urban Meyer rumors. The other one that hasn't been brought up a whole lot, but I've seen is Coach O. That guy just kind of fell off. I don't know. I think there's a list, and I think Matt Rule's definitely on that list. And as a Nebraska fan, I hope he's deep enough down on the list where they just can't touch him.
Rule's not going anywhere.
No.
I mean, if you watch that whole presser where he's talking about it, first he starts out how much he loves Penn State, met his wife there in Salamana, family's 4 generations deep there. And he talks about his family here, the roots they've already put in, her salon that she opened up, the kid, his boy is enrolled in the UNL, and then it kind of switched to, what do I need as a head coach? And he goes, well, the facilities here A+. Can't go anywhere and get better facilities than we have already.
Mm-hmm.
What I'd like is a $30 million NIL team roster. He threw it out there. This is the second time he's asked. And if they want to keep him, you're going to have to give him. It's not about his pay.
No.
It's about that NIL money.
All right, now let me throw this out to everybody. Say say Rule does bolt. Say he does, okay, and I'm just throwing this out as a scenario. He bolts.
Yeah.
Does Rayola go with?
No,
No?
because Rule will take Viola, offensive line coach with him.
True.
If he knows he gets Dylan to go with
Yeah.
him, does he take him?
No,
I mean, the offensive line coach.
I do not think so.
You don't think?
No.
Brian?
I don't know. I think Penn State's willing to throw a lot of money at somebody, and money talks. Honestly, Penn State.
The question in front of you is, will Raiola go with you?
I wouldn't be surprised because I think Raiola likes Matt Rule, likes playing for him. You know,
Staying here.
my whole thing on the whole Penn State job is it is his alma mater. So it's going to be really hard for him not to go. And James Franklin had him on that cusp for so long, but he couldn't get over the hump. So who's going to, and honestly, Matt Rule's never had the chance to go somewhere that is ready to win now. So does he take that chance? It's a definitely an eye-opening job opportunity.
But like, for example, what you're asking,
Mm-hmm.
Raiola is closer to Holderson than he is to Matt Rule. And Holderson most likely will become our head coach.
Right.
Probably heir to be if this falls out that way. Who else would you go get?
James Franklin?
No, we're not trading coaches.
So Jeff, do you think that Urban Meyer would come here to Nebraska? Yeah.
He mentioned last time we were looking for coaches, but I don't think our fan base would be okay with that as a whole.
Now let me throw a name out
boosters, there. Our boosters would not be okay with that.
Let me throw a name out there.
Here we go.
You know who it is,
I do.
Zach Taylor, head coach for the Bengals. Struggling this year. Of course, he did lose Joe Burrow. But Zach Taylor is showing he can win in the NFL.
Yeah.
He's showing he can take a team to the Super Bowl in the NFL. Is he the kind of guy? Now, the last time Nebraska brought in a head coach that had taken a team to the Super Bowl was Bill Callahan. We all know how that disaster went.
Yeah.
But Callahan took over John Gruden's team out in Oakland. That was not his team. That was John Gruden's team.
And who beat the shit out of him in the Super
John
Bowl?
Gruden.
John Gruden.
Now,
that's also another name, not to get off topic, that Penn State's talking about is Gruden.
Yes. But now,
and Gruden's made a lot of points that he wants back in.
Yeah.
College. Yeah.
But is Zach Taylor, let's just say the whole thing happens, Nebraska job opens up, Zach Taylor gets let go by the Bengals. Is Zach Taylor a fit for the university?
I don't know.
I think so. Maybe it keeps Holderson. Which I think that's what along Nebraska. I mean, our offense.
Holderson has to be a head coach or any state.
Yeah.
But I actually agree with Jeff. I think that if Nebraska was smart, what they would do is they would keep this train rolling. They would, if Matt Rule does happen to go, hire in-house. Don't go outside and start all over. That's one thing that Nebraska has done over the last couple of years or last decade, basically. And
it's just like my question I asked you the other day. If we fire Raiola at the end of this year, does Dylan leave?
I don't know. Yeah, a lot of the reason he wanted to come here was because of his family ties.
Absolutely.
His uncle, his dad played here. But
I'm just saying his uncle needs to be on a hot seat.
Yeah.
That guy's had 5 years now. This is his 5th year.
You got to think about Dylan's brother coming too. Dylan's
Yeah.
brother's right behind him. Yeah, he's in the next.
And let's look at the game last week against Maryland. Again, found a way to win. I will give them that. They found a way to win.
We were down 14 twice.
I know.
Twice.
But, now you look at that schedule going out. The Penn State game doesn't loom as large as it did a few weeks ago.
No, but USC and UCLA should be.
And Iowa.
Yeah.
Iowa's always a game.
Iowa.
It's always a game though.
It's always a tough game,
Yeah.
you know?
Iowa.
And then you got Friday night this week, Minnesota. Minnesota doesn't look great.
Well,
But-
you've been picking him all year to beat us. He's been picking him to beat us.
You know, but the one thing I will say is Nebraska's finding that way to win those close games now, where in the past they.
Well, let's get rid of the far record. What's our record this year in close games? 3-1.
Yeah.
3-1.
Yeah.
I'll take that.
Well,
I'll
yeah,
take that. Yeah, 3-1.
but you know, now that UCLA game looks tough. Yeah, I mean, what they did to Michigan last week, or Michigan State last week, looks tough. You know,
Because we didn't manhandle him.
and like Brian, like we talked last week. Let's go to this game now. The Penn State Oregon game a couple weeks ago. We talked about it before that game. Neither team had played anybody. We didn't know what they had, and now Indiana goes out to Austin Stadium, and I mean I'm not saying they blew Oregon out, but they handled them. I mean, Indiana.
Oregon was playing from behind.
Indiana was the better team that day. I will say
Absolutely.
that.
It was real hard to watch them because I was watching the Nebraska game and
Texas, Oklahoma was on.
yeah, I mean, there's so many games going on.
Yeah.
What a weekend! What a weekend for football.
Yeah, but Brian, what did you think about the Oregon Indiana game?
You know, I was obviously disappointed, but I wasn't surprised that Indiana came in and won that game. I knew it was going to be a tough game because Indiana had looked good all year long. And they had a little bit better resume than Oregon did, as we see now that Penn State is falling. Do I think Oregon's going to bounce back? Yes, I think they'll bounce back. I would rather them lose in the regular season a game like this than what they did last year, where they ran through the table, get in the first round of playoffs and lose. I think it's going to be good for them to have that little bit of a humbleness to them, but Oregon's not going anywhere. They're still a good team.
Yeah.
But I think it's going to be Indiana and Oregon out of the Big Ten and Ohio State. I think Ohio State, Indiana, and Oregon come out of the Big Ten.
What about Nebraska?
You're just leaving us out.
I mean,
Oh wait, did you hear that? Did you hear that? Go blue!
I just don't.
if those of you who didn't tune in last week don't understand, Brian and Jeff had a bet on the Philadelphia Giants game last Thursday, and the loser of that game had to paint their face the team color of the winning team. I really thought we were going to see Jeff in green this week, but we are seeing Brian in blue. And
The only thing green on me is my last name today.
I will say, Brian, I guess if you keep that for a few more weeks, you can go as a Smurf for Halloween.
Sure, I could do that.
But, you know, I agree with you. I think Oregon, Indiana, and Ohio State right now are the cream of the crop in the Big Ten. Nothing against Nebraska, but, you know, these guys are battling it out in other teams, you know, because at the time when Oregon went in and played Penn State, everybody thought Penn State was a good team. They still had Drew Aller. Now he's gone for the season. And I don't know if they're.
Does Oregon and Michigan play?
I don't think so. I know Indiana and Ohio State have a pretty easy schedule all the way out. I think Ohio State's toughest game coming out is Michigan. And I don't think Indiana has anybody ranked the rest of the year.
Here, hold on. I got the Oregon schedule. So Oregon has Rutgers next week, Wisconsin, Iowa, Minnesota, USC, and Washington. So no.
Yeah, pretty easy schedule going on.
Yeah, it's a Pac-12 schedule going out.
The only one they have is USC, but I don't believe in USC, honestly.
Yeah,
So you think Ohio State gets beat by Michigan, Jeff?
I do. I think Michigan's a better team.
No. I I can see that.
Because-
They've done it the last
because
however many years.
They have, but this year they have a plan. They're gonna be physical. They're gonna run the ball. They're gonna drive right down your throat. They're gonna eat clock up. They've done it to everybody they played, and in the fourth quarter, they've destroyed people.
And see, well, except for USC.
Yes,
USC ran the ball down their throat.
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
in a schedule going out, Michigan State, UCLA, Maryland, Penn State, Wisconsin.
And
Purdue.
UCLA is the new darling though right now.
Yeah, they are, but
There's this hypothetical, which I don't like because we're a part of it, but UCLA wins out. They make it. They get to the Big Ten championship game and they make it. I've seen a lot of that.
well, let's jump down south to the other power conference in America right now, the SEC. And you take a look down there, and I don't even know if you can say who's going to come out of that whole group, because Oklahoma looked strong. Texas made them look bad.
Yeah.
You know, Georgia plays Ole Miss this weekend after Georgia got beat by Alabama. Missouri and Alabama, it was a decent game the other day, but Alabama, of course, won that. But now Alabama's got Tennessee coming in, or they go to Tennessee, I believe.
Do you think that puts Missouri out?
Of the whole going to the playoffs? Yeah, I do. I really do.
I do too. Which is too bad because they're a good team.
They are. They're a solid ball club.
But they got tough schedules going out.
They do.
They got LSU and Vanderbilt
Yep.
on there, and if I remember right, South Carolina.
So has Sarkeesian and Texas figured it out after beating
No,
Oklahoma?
God, no.
I'm
They
just
figured
asking.
nothing out. I mean, I picked them to win that game, but that's more about Oklahoma being up and down than it is Texas being good. Texas ain't figured nothing out.
So who is the cream of the crop in the SEC right now?
It's looking like Texas A&M right now. Honestly, Texas A&M,
What about Ole Miss?
Old Miss. It's up in the air, but like Texas A&M and Old Miss are all both undefeated.
Ole Miss colors on.
Yeah, you can say what you want, but go blue.
I don't know. I think you're right, Derek. That division's wide open. You know, that conference. It could be anybody, but right now it looks like Old Miss and Texas A&M at this point.
A&M looks really strong right now. Ole Miss looks strong right now, but Georgia,
You guys are delusional. It's going to come down to the same old
Alabama,
two.
Georgia.
Alabama, Georgia will be the cream of the crop at the end of this season,
Well,
just like it always is.
I don't think so.
Yeah,
I think there's more parity in the SEC right now than there used to be. Okay, I think there's more.
I think there's more parity because the conference as a whole is down. They're not dominant
No.
like they
No.
were.
Look what Florida State did to Alabama.
Yeah, they're just not dominant. But that said, Ohio State, Oregon, they're not dominant either.
No.
There's no team that's put themselves as the number one team,
Right.
hands down,
In the SEC.
in any conferences.
Right.
Well,
I mean, right now, you ask 10 people who the number one team in the country will be at the end of the season, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you're going to get
Nebraska.
7, 8 different answers.
Yeah.
out of
I
those
thought
10
Jeff was
people.
delusional.
What?
He said
said
Nebraska, and I
Nebraska.
was like, I thought
I have to agree with you. I think we're going to go 10-2. We're going to make the playoffs, and we're going to make a run. And
You guys
those
are
are
both
going to go right through Duckland.
I think you guys are both delusional.
Let me ask you this.
Our faces are painted though.
If you had to pick a team right now in college football, Brian, to say they're the number one team, who would you go with?
I don't even know. It's so wide open. Like, if there's so much parity in college football right now that it'd be so hard to say at this point who I think is going to come out. Because just when you think somebody's looking good, like Oregon was looking good, then they get trounced by Indiana. So I don't know. As of right now, Indiana looks really good. So do they have a shot? So
Who you got?
I'm torn between Miami and Indiana right now, but I would have to say Miami. I mean, they have a lot of young talent at receiver. Carson Beck looks really good. Carson Beck, that's where he goes.
Their defense looks good.
Their defense looks good.
well,
Right now, if I had to pick hands down, I'd go Miami.
well,
Yeah.
Miami definitely
I
has.
agree with you, but Miami would be my pick, and my dark horse is Georgia.
I just want to add some to like Miami definitely has the easier conference to get through.
Yeah.
So they're not going to get tested all the way through. I don't think.
Yeah, but you there used to be a big downfall in these conversations, but now we have a 12-team tournament. There's no easy path once you get to the playoffs.
So
No easy
Miami.
path.
And at the end
Mi-
of the day, you still have a $30 million roster playing a $30 million roster. So it
So-
doesn't matter what
so-
conference you come out of.
So Miami though, like basically what they're doing is just cruising to the playoffs. That's what they're doing. So they're going to be the least tested probably out of anybody that gets to the playoffs, in my opinion.
Now, I will say their early season schedule, they did play Florida,
Yes.
played Florida State already, and they played USF, Miami's their only loss this year. I'm
Right.
not taking anything away. They play in a weaker conference. They're in the group of 5, but USF has a solid team.
Yeah.
South Florida. I mean, they've shown it. Now I'm going to throw one more thing out. Last year in the playoffs, nobody thought Arizona State could make a splash. Okay. They didn't win a game, of course, but they took Texas to the wire. They had, and a lot of that was the help of the guy who helped you not to pick your pace, Cam Scatteroo.
Scatterboo!
But let me ask you this. Can Texas Tech make some noise in the playoffs this year?
Yeah.
They could.
They look dirty.
Their defense doesn't look sound. They're gonna be just like Indiana. They're gonna outscore people. Indiana's though this year their defense has taken a big step forward, which is gonna help them in those big games. I don't think Texas Tech has taken that step yet. They got some playmakers. Their offense is gonna be hard to stop. But when they get into the playoffs, just like any game, defenses win championships.
Yep.
So no, Texas Tech don't make any noise.
You don't think they'll even win one game, huh? If
It's
they get that first round bye, like Arizona State did last year for winning the Big 12, say they go undefeated, they get that first round bye like Arizona State did, and they got to play a winner of one of those games coming out. Do they have a chance to win it? Say they get a LSU or Georgia or something like that. Can they hang with them?
No.
Okay. All right. Well, a lot of good games going on in college football this weekend too. Not really any big marquee games, but there's some good games. Georgia Ole Miss is one of them.
LSU Vanderbilt.
LSU is at Vanderbilt. A lot of SEC games, and the thing is, you look at the rankings, and there's like 32 SEC teams in the top 25. So
Yeah.
you have that, but Big Ten is kind of
You got a lot of little pack teams squaring off this weekend.
yeah.
But we the Big Ten kind of lost its luster with Oregon going down, and now we got Ohio State and Indiana carrying the flag.
Yeah.
That's not sexy.
But my thing is, Sam Levitt has been practicing. Texas Tech has to go to Arizona State. And when Sam Levitt's the quarterback for Arizona State's a decent team, but now they had Jeff Sims in there quarterback last week, and it looked like absolute trash against Utah.
How is that guy still bouncing around in quarterback positions?
I thought he retired.
We should have.
When he's here, he had the worst stat I've ever heard in my life. He threw an interception every 4.1 plays. 4.1 plays.
Yeah.
You get one first down before he's going to give the ball away.
Mhm.
I just wow. I just don't think I've ever heard a stat like that before.
Well, college football this weekend, a lot of great games. You got the Huskers playing Friday night this week against Minnesota. So you
On
got
the road, it's going to be a big game.
Yeah.
You know, Matt Rule finally won a road game
yeah,
against Maryland, and it was hard fought.
Yeah.
We didn't play well, but we found a way to win, which was amazing. It was great to watch. I was in hostile territory up in South Dakota watching it, back into the bar, and I ended up getting the crowd going towards the end there. But this is going to be a big game.
it will be.
PJ Fleck, he really needs a win.
Yeah.
We really need to win too.
Yeah.
Because we have higher aspirations than being a 7-8 win team.
Yep.
You know, and can't win 10 if you don't win the 6 and 7 one.
That's right. So,
Yep.
well, we hope your team this weekend fares well. And
That's what team you're rooting for. You know, we're not rooting on Colorado, not rooting on Oregon.
but I do got to give some love to our Colorado viewers. Congratulations, Coach Prime. He took down Iowa State. Big win for the Buffalo.
Well, he took down Iowa State, took down the goalpost.
Yeah.
I mean, they're going to have a jersey in the stadium here soon.
For somebody.
Somebody, I don't know who was the MVP.
Well, let's move on, guys, to the pros, and let's flash back. 2 weeks ago, we were talking. We had 2 undefeated teams in the NFL. Both of them have now lost 2 in a row. And
they both lost to the New York Giants.
yes. No, Buffalo didn't lose to the Giants.
Chargers. That's right. Chargers
weren't. Yeah.
They have lost.
Yes.
I forgot about that.
But out of those 2 teams, Philadelphia has now lost to Denver and the Giants. Buffalo lost to the Patriots and the Falcons.
What a weird loss with that Falcons. I mean, where did they come from?
But Atlanta basically dominated that game.
Yeah, every time you looked up, they were ahead.
Buffalo really was not in position to win that game at any point, and Josh Allen did not look good.
No,
they took away his running ability from him in that game, and if he can't run the ball, the rest of his game just doesn't flow. You guys see that or not?
Oh yeah, 1,000%.
well, you know, unlike when he first got in the league, he don't have that talented wide receiver crew
No.
around him. I mean, now he's doing the Mahomes thing, making do with what he's got.
Yep.
And
Brian, your Eagles. We talked about it. They found a way to win. They found a way to win. They found a way to win. Well, the last 2 games, they kind of found a way to lose.
Yeah.
They got beat both games. Denver took him out just like the Giants did. They put pressure on him. They contained Hurts, and they didn't let Barkley go nuts.
Yeah. Was your thoughts on that one?
Our offensive coordinator's terrible. They're not playing Philly football. Like, they're not the team of last year. Like, that offense is so loaded with talent. It is sad that they're 25th and worse in every statistical category for offense. And it doesn't really matter how good your defense is if you're always on the field. You know, it's starting to show in Philly that their offense is too bad right now. And they need to start running Saquon more. They need to start going back to what they were last year.
Saquon get hurt, you run him too much.
What was that?
Saquon get hurt, you run him too much. You gotta be careful with that.
He's on pace.
Ever since AJ Brown came out and started complaining about not getting the ball, it looks like the last 2 games, they have tried to pass the ball more than they did in the past. Is that because of him trying to be the squeaky wheel gets the grease type thing, and they think they need to start trying to throw to him more? And that takes them out of their base game plan of running the ball, throwing off play action once you get the ball running.
Yeah, you're exactly right. The winning formula for Philly is the play action pass.
Yeah.
That is, and Jalen Hurts is really good at the read option or the read style option, run pass option. Jalen Hurts is actually playing extremely well. If it wasn't for Jalen Hurts, I think we would have 4 losses, honestly. Jalen Hurts has kept him in the games with his running ability and honestly his passing ability. You know, he hasn't really turned the ball over until last week. Last week he had the 1 interception, but he doesn't have any more on the year. It's just they're not moving the ball. They got to move the ball down the field and keep that defense off the field. And
Hey.
it all boils
Time for you
down
to
to
say
their
it.
offensive coordinator.
Time for you to say it. What happened?
What?
Go blue. Say it. Go blue. Go blue.
You know, as much as I hated it, Scattaboo is a beast. That guy's going to be a problem in the NFL. I don't think he'll last long, but I think that he's going to be a problem. If the Giants play like they have been the last, couple weeks they have a shot. They
We're all
really
thinking
do.
it. Go ahead. Say it. Say it. Win the NFC East.
They're not going to win the division.
NFC East.
Now,
I could see him sneaking in the playoffs for sure.
Winning the NFC East.
Now, I have heard somebody on this panel talk about Belichick cheating, Harbaugh cheating. The Giants are now in trouble for cheating. Because Jackson Dart was in the concussion protocol, and the Giants, you saw Scatterman go to the tent. Dabo went to the tent. They didn't get him checked out like they probably should have. And now it's all coming back around on them. Possibly could lose their first-round draft pick next year, is one of the fines.
I heard that.
And everything else. So are we throwing Brian Dabo in with Jim Harbaugh and Belichick?
No. That was a moment of passion. We're killing. We got blood in the water. Sharks were circling, and Hurts was over there hurt. He's over there out there in the field doing and then all of a sudden Dart going, oh, and they were like, oh no, who we got doing? Russell Wilson? No, we can't have that. Can't have that. We got to finish him off, and Scattaboo needs Dart to go finish him off.
All right, this next question is for Brian and Bray. Before the season started, did not the person sitting between me and Braden, who will remain nameless, Jeff Green, say that Russell Wilson was going to leave the Giants this year and be the quarterback he was when he was in Seattle, to be that guy that led the Seattle Seahawks to a Super Bowl? Did he or did he not say that at one point in time, guys?
Yeah.
Yes.
That's all we heard preseason. That's all we heard preseason.
I didn't know that he could throw over 20 yards. I didn't know that he was dragging the dead leg.
Yeah.
I didn't know those things.
And
So I got a question for you, Jeff. Remember back when Jameis Winston was at the Bucks and you were like, oh, he's a turnover machine, everything. And then when you guys signed him and Russell Wilson, you guys like, oh, we're going to the playoffs. The Giants are going to be great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
all right, now let's go on to another team, guys, that
But
started
still,
1-2.
Philadelphia Eagles failed.
They
And
did.
that's why you are painted blue.
Yep.
Play again this year, guys. Remember that.
That's absolutely right. What, 3 weeks?
No, next week.
Next week.
Yeah.
1 week off?
Yeah,
Yeah,
1 week
they
off.
play, then they play somebody else, and then they play again.
Yeah.
But let's go to a team that was 0-2, and we saw them Sunday night. They are starting to click, the Kansas City Chiefs.
Well, they found that they're back. I mean, they showed life.
And they get Rashee Rice back,
Yes.
and that's going to help out Mahomes.
My boy over here tells me that's a big thing.
It's a huge thing.
Yeah.
You saw
But-
what happened when Worthy came back.
But the thing is,
Now what happens when they're both there?
the Lions are a good team.
Yeah.
I take nothing
Yes.
away from Detroit. And again, like we talked in a few of these other games, Kansas City was in control of that game pretty much the whole night until the end when Juju got punched. But
That's pretty true.
besides that, I mean, Brian, did you see the Chiefs? They're starting to look like they did a few years ago, don't they?
Yeah, and that's why I stuck when we had the conversation last week about picking our Super Bowl again. Like I've stuck with the Chiefs because I think that they're going to win their division? No, I don't think they're going to win the division. However, I think they can get through the playoffs. They're not worried about going through the playoffs on the road. They've shown it before. I think all Kansas City has to do is limp into the playoffs, and then it's going to be a whole new game. Is what I see.
Yeah. Jeff, what's your thoughts on the Chiefs?
The Chiefs are dangerous. As long as Mahomes is in the game, they can win. Um, I don't think they have it in them to make it to a Super Bowl. Um, I mean, they haven't been able to win more than 2 games in a row yet. So I mean, you got to show the ability to win 4 games, especially if you're not winning your division.
Let's let's be honest though. Does anybody stand out? It's kind of like college football. Nobody's standing out at all.
Teams, Tampa Bay look good.
No,
They're
I
strong.
agree.
Indianapolis, unfortunately, looks like one of the best teams in the league. Danny Dimes looking like he's going to the Pro Bowl. I mean, Jesus Christ.
If not the Super Bowl.
And then Jonathan Taylor over there, I mean, he looks like he's 5 years, he did 5 years ago. He's breaking cleats.
Now, I was telling Presley this, that if the Chiefs can't make the Super Bowl, my dream Super Bowl is Indianapolis versus Philadelphia for you.
Philadelphia.
Saquon Barkley versus Daniel Jones in the Super Bowl.
Jeff would probably not watch that game.
You would not
I'm
watch
gonna
the
say
Super
that.
Bowl.
Jeff would find something else to do in February instead of watching the Super Bowl.
It'd take my wife to go to a casino and
Now,
craps machine.
Jeff mentioned a team there. Tampa Bay comes in 4-1 last week. San Francisco comes in 4-1. San Fran limping in at a 4-1. They're not that strong of a team, although Big Mac Jones isn't looking terrible.
Here's the thing with San Francisco. They're injured.
Yeah.
Yeah, they got lots of injuries.
Fred Warner just got hurt.
This may be the year though, where normally they're good at this time of year, and they get injured in the middle late, going to the playoffs all beat up. They might be coming around full strength when the playoffs get here, which would be new for them.
But let's talk about the other team, Tampa Bay. Baker Mayfield, you talk about injuries. He has no Mike Evans. He has no Chris Godwin. He has no Bucky Irving. He loses Abuka halfway through that game.
Yeah.
But still finds other guys to hit as their receivers. And to me, guys, I know I'm a Bucs fan, but Baker Mayfield right now to me looks like the MVP. He's finding ways to win games, even though they're losing. They've got their top 3 receivers and their starting running back out, but Baker finds a way, and that defense is playing solid. Yeah,
solid.
Yep, Winfield in that defensive backfield. Levante David, he's looking like he's still a senior at Nebraska.
Yeah,
I mean he's playing good, and then
he had lost a step.
You got the immovable object and Vita Vea in the middle of that defensive line, and they're
a good
strong.
team. They're a good team. They're solid, and their injuries haven't been hurtful yet.
Right. Well, they have been, because you lose your top 3 receivers.
I get that, but he found ways around that. You start losing. You go 3 deep in your left tackle, and that's a much bigger pain in the ass.
They did have Tristan Wirfs out for a while.
They did.
So
I'm just saying, if you go third, you go to the third string guy, and then that hurts way more than 3 wide receivers.
Yep. Now we've talked about this at the beginning of the year. Joe Flacco started for the Browns, now traded. He's with the Bengals. Dylan Gabriel has come in. He's started the last 2 games, I believe, for him.
Yep.
Not looking very good. I was looking
horrible.
Yeah, well, he's not looking great either. I went online the other night and found some Cleveland Brown fan blogs and stuff. The name Shador Sanders is starting to float out.
Well, he got moved up to number 2.
I know.
Now.
And the fans in Cleveland are starting to talk. When is Shador going to take over? When is Shador? I'm not saying he's going to do better than Gabriel. I'm not saying he's going to do worse than Gabriel. But the talk is starting to be there.
And if I was head coach, I'd give them what they want. I'd throw them in there and say, okay.
Do you guys think we will see Shador as a starter before the end of the season?
Yes.
I'd like to say so, but it just seems like that head coach hates Shedeur Sanders.
He
got fired.
Not like he did not want to put him as quarterback too, even when they traded Joe Flacco. The only reason I say no is because that head coach is not a fan of Shedeur.
Okay, but
He got fired though.
None of the Browns.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he got fired this week.
That was Tennessee's head coach.
No, Stefanski got fired too, didn't he?
No.
I think just the
Unless I missed it. Cleveland's head coach.
I'm pretty sure I saw he got fired this week.
No, I think he was just Tennessee's coach. He's still there.
Well, he's still there.
Okay, well, he's gonna get fired probably. Anyway, but I don't know. Like, if you're Cleveland, though, you're so bad. Why not? Just throw him in there and sell tickets. See what happens. But I called it. I honestly called it that Gabriel wasn't going to work out. Even though I'm an Oregon fan, I didn't see it. He's not a pro quarterback.
Gabriel in college. I mean, he started at Oklahoma. I wasn't
UCF. Yeah, he started at UCF too.
Yeah, with Scott Frost.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But I wasn't that sold on him, but I wasn't sold on Shador out of Colorado either. You know.
No.
No one was. That's why he went in the 6th round.
But he got his jersey retired out of Colorado. How'd that happen?
His daddy got his foot cut off, and he had to do something that himself happen.
But no, I mean, I look at it and I got a feeling you're going to see Shador. Whether if Stefanski won't put him in,
they'll fire him.
They'll fire him and bring the new coach in, and the ownership will say, "You're starting."
Yeah.
That's what I see happening.
I don't see Shador lasting long.
No,
in that spot.
But now let's stay in that division, guys. The Ravens, are they done for the year?
Oh,
they're done.
Even when Lamar comes back, are they done?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're done.
Derrick Henry's terrible. They can't find a way to get Zay Flowers the ball. There's nobody else to throw to. Well, Mark Andrews a little bit. He's old. They are in shambles.
Their defense is decimated.
He has to put it all on his shoulders.
Like he always has tried before.
Like he always does, and he sucks, so it doesn't work out.
Well, their defense is decimated. That defense is that's a backup defense.
Lamar,
way overrated.
Yeah, Lamar is overrated. He's an athletic quarterback, but he's not a quarterback. You know, he's athletic. If
he's a running back, he can throw the ball. He doesn't see the field well.
Well, let's go over to the NFC now, and let's talk about that. We've talked about the Eagles. We've talked about the Giants and that. The Bears.
Did you say Giants? Go!
The Bears, guys, they're kind of hanging around in that AFC North right now. Caleb Williams.
The Bears.
The Bears.
They're starting to kind of find a little bit of a rhythm. They played Washington the other night, which
they played gritty.
They did. Yeah. They did. And
really gritty.
You know, you look in there, the Lions may not be the team they were last year. They're looking a little down this year. The Packers have really fallen off the table.
Man, how did they come out of the gate looking so good?
Yeah.
And we're 6 weeks now, and they're a middle of the pack team again.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And did they lose someone that I missed?
No.
Did something change that?
No.
I mean, they just got the best player in football supposedly, and their defense got worse.
It's what's wild to me is the two teams that the two teams that looked the best at the beginning of the year just fell off the table. Like the Chargers, they don't have an offensive line because they're all hurt. But
that's karma. Cheaters never win.
You're a cheater.
Not a cheater.
Yeah.
I cheat.
Your team
I
cheated.
didn't even take points. I should
Your
try
team
7
cheated.
points on that. And I didn't take it. I said, nah, I'm good up money line.
Now,
Yeah, and I hear the text all game long that Philly's cheaters.
They were.
And then you turn around and cheat.
How many personal fouls they have? 4. 4 in the first half.
Now, let's talk about another team in the NFC out in the West that we thought looked really strong at the beginning of the year. Now, Puka Nacua, how long is he going to be out? Are the Rams going to be the same team without Puka? They tried to, we talked about Tampa Bay and how Mayfield can bring other receivers and bring them into the games. Stafford tried to do that with Devontae Adams, a legitimate wide receiver, all-pro wide receiver in the NFL, and they couldn't get it done with him. I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't have trust in Matt Stafford either.
The Rams are such a wild card. Because 1 week that defense looks like it's one of the top units in the league.
Yeah.
And then the very next week, they let Baltimore run all over them.
Mm-hmm.
What do you got there?
Yeah.
That's so hard to pick. Las Vegas pulled their hair out trying to put numbers and lines on these games right now.
I tell you what, this is the hardest year to pick games I've ever done.
Yeah.
Absolutely. What was it? 2 weeks ago, our best guy in our league got 7 right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Our pick was cool.
It's wild. It's just a wild year of football in college and in pro. It's just crazy.
And you take a look at it, and you take a look at that NFC West, and at the beginning of the year, everybody was kind of favoritism toward the Rams to win that division.
Yeah.
Right now, Seattle looks pretty strong. I mean, Seattle looks good with Sam Darnold. And how bad do you have to feel if you are the GM and the ownership of the Carolina Panthers to think we had Baker Mayfield and Sam Darnold on this team together as QB1 and QB2. Now they're gone, and look what they're doing. One's 5-1.
Yeah, it's not a yeah.
It just shows you when the quarterback does it.
Yeah, Brian, listening to this, you think, watching it?
My mom is, so yeah.
Well, I got to give a shout out to Braden's mom, Shannon Cook, and my apologies to you. Your husband, Brian, he can start okay. He just cannot finish anything. We know that for a fact. He had a 15-point lead on me going into Monday Night Football the other night in our fantasy league, and who won?
You did.
Thank you.
Anytime.
Anyway, Brian, if you're watching this, Shannon, you might hit record to clip this so you can show him. If he's not watching, you just can't finish, Brian. And we know that. You have to call me in to finish all your work. I take care of it for you. I'm sorry, man. I felt bad for you, but then I thought about it, and no, I didn't. So, and Jeff and his Giants, they're holding their own together, man. They both got 2 wins on the year now.
Yeah, absolutely.
I love it.
It's the beginning. It's the beginning of a new season. Everything else in the past.
Yes.
We're 2-1 right now.
Yeah.
And we took out the Chargers and Philadelphia. I got one thing to say. Go blue!
But guys, like we were just talking here, this year in the NFL is so, I mean, you don't know. You don't know. We talked about the Bills looked like one of the strongest teams out of the AFC. And right now, the way the Falcons team played defense over them, I don't know if the Patriots don't surprise everybody and win the damn AFC East now.
They don't look bad.
They're leading.
No. Drake May.
I mean, he's you think that he's not the guy to lead you, but on the other hand, he's kind of like an Alex Smith right now.
Yeah.
He ain't making mistakes. He ain't putting you in a bad spot. He
No.
seems to be able to move the sticks.
The defense looks good, but what do you expect with Vrabel? I mean, he is a defensive guy.
Yeah.
They're running the ball with Travion and Ramondre. They were able to run the ball. Stephon Diggs looks like he is just back to what he was in Minnesota.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, he couldn't do it in Buffalo. He was okay. He couldn't do it in Houston. He really didn't have anything there. You bring him to New England, and now he's looking good.
Well, he's finding open routes.
Yeah,
He's finding open green grass, and May's getting it to him.
May's delivering it to him. So, would you guys be shocked if New England won the AFC East?
Yeah,
No.
I would.
Brian?
This year, I wouldn't be shocked of anything. Honestly, I wouldn't be shocked if they did. I just don't believe in Buffalo. I don't believe in Buffalo. They just don't have any weapons really around Allen besides Cook. Cook's the only weapon they got.
But Cook
And-
hasn't done much the last couple weeks.
No, he hasn't done much the last couple of weeks, but you know, it's just they kind of look like the Buffalo of a couple years ago where they were like up and down, up and down. It's just I just don't believe in them. And you can't win with just Josh Allen. You just can't. It's the NFL. You can't do it with just one person.
Yeah, I mean,
I think Buffalo's problem is their defense is taking a serious step backwards. It's not. They used to be very, very good against the pass,
mhm.
and it's weak at best. They sit in that shell defense majority of their plays now. Just trying not to give up a big play, and opposed to trying to shut it down. It's not.
Yeah.
It's not the same defense.
And Landon exposed that the other night with Drake London. I mean, Michael Penix is not a great quarterback.
No.
He's serviceable in the NFL, but Drake London tore Buffalo up the other night by catching the ball. And then Bijan, he was doing the same thing. I mean, had Penix got that one ball to him late on the sideline, Bijan didn't have anybody 15 yards around him.
No.
And, it was just, they couldn't get it to it. He couldn't get a good ball to him so he could keep his momentum going. But, right now, if I had to say there's one team that I could say for sure is going to win their division, that's the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yeah,
I mean,
they're
it's not that they're a great team.
It's
It's
not,
just the
that's
Bengals
bad
and the
division.
Ravens are horrible.
That's a
Yeah.
bad division.
You have the
They're-
Super Bowl this weekend. Aaron
Who-
Rodgers and Joe Flacco.
Who would have thought at the
Close.
beginning of the year? Who would have thought at the beginning of the year that NFC North would be or AFC North would be that bad?
Yeah.
No,
We talked about they could send three teams to the playoffs.
yeah, now they're looking like a one-team division.
Oh.
Like and the Pittsburgh Steelers are loving this.
Yeah.
All they have to do is limp into the playoffs, and then they don't have really a challenge going into the
Aaron
playoffs.
Rodgers is loving this because he doesn't even have to try right now, and he knows that they're going to be in the playoffs.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
mean, I would say Tampa is the elite of the NFC South right now, but yet again, I'm not going to take anything away from the Falcons. They could make a run yet. I'm not saying that they're
The Falcons,
there.
the Falcons are one dimensional on offense, and that works in the regular season.
Yeah.
That ain't gonna work in the playoffs.
But their defense looked good the other night.
It was bad.
I
It,
mean,
it shows sparks.
and I think they showed a game plan on how to shut Josh Allen down. They took that away from him, and I think you're going to see the NFL, defensive coordinators. They're going to watch that game, especially teams that play Buffalo, and they're going to be like, okay, how did they do this? Because, go to the week before, New England. They did the same thing, really. They took it down, but I don't know. I just, and the injuries in the NFL this year, how many have we seen so far? I mean, I feel like there's more injuries this year to big name players than we have seen in the past.
I think the parity that we're seeing and the lack of good teams stepping out is being determined by the injuries.
Mm-hmm.
There's injuries on everybody, and there's a few teams that are semi-clean, and they're better than they should be.
Yeah.
Like Indianapolis, that they don't got no injuries really. It shows.
And what a shame the other day, Marvin Harrison Jr. in the house his dad made a living in he wanted to show up, and he was starting off. He was having a good day with Kyler Murray out. Jacoby Brissett comes in. Brissett, former Colt, coming in. And then Harrison goes out with that concussion, which the Cardinals handled the right way, unlike some teams, and set him down for the half.
Wow, you guys gotta let them go. We're a blue collar group, you know. We go to work when we're injured. We just strap it up and we do our thing.
Well,
Unless you break your ribs.
Yeah. Took it out there.
but no, I mean, but the injuries have been so many this year. You know, now you've got Nakua possibly out. You look at Kyler Murray and Marvin Harrison. Lamar Jackson was out. Defenses, the Ravens' defense has been decimated on defense. The Bills have been decimated on defense this year, and you know the Eagles' offensive line has lost some key players to injuries this year. So you look at that, and it's just all over the league this year. You know, we talked about Tampa Bay's receivers. Top three are out. Their top running backs out. But
Still winning games.
yeah,
Still in it.
Bowers, the top tight end from last year, he's been out the last couple weeks. So
3 weeks that.
yeah,
San Francisco's offense. Total
Yeah.
offense.
you know, you wonder what the NFL would look like right now if these all hadn't happened. You know,
Yeah.
you wonder who would be where and what teams would be a lot better than they are right now. So,
Right.
but I don't know.
Well, we're getting into the grind, and
Yeah.
there's already a ton of injuries.
Yeah.
Normally the injuries don't start mounting up till you get into the grind.
Yep.
But we're just starting the grind part, and there's injuries everywhere.
Well, we've talked in the past. What teams would be hurt the most if
We lost
their
some marquee players.
quarterbacks, if their quarterbacks went out? We've seen Cooper Rush come into Baltimore and look horrible.
Yeah.
You know, so he takes over that spot from Lamar. Russell wasn't hurt, but we saw what happened when they brought Jackson Dart in, and it has sparked the Giants to. I would say some big wins, but then they go down and they lose to New Orleans.
Yeah, rookie things happen. I mean, rookie things happen.
You know,
That game against New Orleans, though, they turned the ball over, what, 5 times?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Rookie
it's hard.
happen.
It's
Saturday
hard
had
to.
2 fumbles. Dart had 2 fumbles and an interception. And one of those fumbles that Dart had, he wouldn't even touch. He was just kind of running down the outside, just lost the ball.
Right.
Yeah, well, shit happens.
do you know, we talked about this the other week about players dropping the ball before they get to the end zone.
Yeah.
Do you think they're watching the Chad Powers saga on Hulu? That's where this is coming from. They feel like, oh, maybe if I do this, I can go back to college as a different person and I can go back, you know?
Yeah,
I mean, I don't know. Have you guys watched any of
Yeah,
that?
that's a good series.
It's
It's
a really good series. If you
I love how
guys
it's right
there.
off of Eli's, like what he did
Yeah.
when Penn State did that. It's awesome.
Yeah. Well, guys, the NFL, in the past few years we've been doing this show, we've been able to talk about this team being strong, this team. Right now, I don't even know where to go. I really don't. I mean, you could say, you know, Jeff can say his Giants are playing great ball,
They are.
and they
Go
are,
Blue!
but what can happen to them down in New Orleans can happen to any team, anywhere, anytime right now. And we haven't seen this. The only given in the NFL right now, the Jets are going to lose.
Yes.
Yeah.
Miami will probably lose,
Most
Yeah.
likely.
and Tennessee will probably lose. Yep. Those are about the only 3 givens we've got going right now for us. Well,
Yeah, Cleveland too.
yeah, in Cleveland. But this week, Miami and Tennessee play, so we'll see who's going to win that battle.
It's the Turd Bowl.
Yeah.
Who's gonna
It might end up. It might end up in a tie. It might end up in a tie.
Well, for next week, guys, I want you to all think about and come up with because we're going to be right at about mid-season coming up. We're in week 7 right now. got 17 weeks, so we're going to be right in between that halfway point of the NFL season. Why don't you guys come up with who you think is your clubhouse leader going into the last half of the season in MVP race and Rookie of the Year race and Coach of the Year race. So we'll talk about those next Wednesday night as well. Brian, any final thoughts?
I don't have anything, just a wild year in both college and NFL.
You owe us one. Come on, you gotta say at least once.
Go Blue.
Yeah.
I gotta ask you, are you guys gonna make this bet again, or are you gonna have something different next time?
We'll
don't
talk about it.
We'll talk about it. We'll think about that. We got a week.
Braden, any final thoughts?
No, thanks to the viewers. Had a lot of good comments tonight. Tyler's older Brian said, "Go Giants." I'm glad you're starting to support a real team.
Woo!
Oh shit!
Little Chiefs fans and Jim Stevens and my mom, and just thanks for everybody watching. And yeah, crazy season, and we're about halfway there.
Jeff, besides Go Blue, do you have any final thoughts?
Go Big Red! Go Big Minnesota on Friday night. You heard it here first. We're gonna win by 3 touchdowns.
Okay.
3 touchdowns.
I'm going to hold you to that. We will talk about that next week on this show as well. Well, for Brian in Arizona tonight, for Braden, Jeff, and myself, we want to thank you all for tuning in. We are on our way to 1,000. Please help us get there any way possible. Send those invites out. If you've got us on Facebook, send them out. We're trying to get to 1,000. We'd love to hit that mark before the end of this season. And we're going to be back here each and every week. We're going to try to bring you the best content we can think of. You've been watching Tailgate Talk, and
We
know sports.